Company. They sell the best and service the rest. Pensation, hometown love in every sub. Thomas More University. Accelerate your career with a business degree from Thomas More University. And by Kelsey Chevrolet on Route 50 and 275 in Lawrenceburg. Greater Cincinnati's fastest growing full service dealer. And the Tri-State's #1 Chevy lease dealer. All because of your family believing in ours. From our family to yours. KelseyChev.com. This is High School Football Tonight.
All right, here we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome in to the High School Football Tonight show, powered by TriStateFootball.com, here on Cincinnati's ESPN 1530 and Fox Sports 1360. My name is Safwan Alvi. I will be your host, and I am joined by the publisher at TriStateFootball.com, the man that makes it all go, my partner and friend. His name is Dan Klaskins, and again, we are TriStateFootball.com. Be sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms, Twitter and Instagram at TS Football. Again, that is at TS Football. You can also like us on Facebook and watch our videos on YouTube. And you can listen to our podcasts, coaches' interviews, game plan shows, and everything Tri-State Football has to offer. Wherever you get your podcasts, just type in TriStateFootball.com. We are here with you until 11 p.m. Eastern Time, talking all things high school football in Southwest Ohio, Eastern Indiana, and Northern Kentucky. We got historic wins all over the Tri-State area. We also got Haley Valadingham from TGIF Football joining us, Joe Waddell, our producer, as well. And Dan, we have a lot of things to talk about. We got big games all over the Tri-State area. I do want to jump into the game very quickly, going to the Underground Sports Shop scoreboard, right? You can check out the Underground Sports Shop scoreboard, TriStateFootball.com/scores, because we have history being made at St. X tonight, the #1 team in our Blitz 5 Top 25. They defeated Westerville North tonight, pitching a shutout 28-0, and Coach Steve Specht becomes the winningest head coach in St. X history, getting to 190 wins. And Dan, we are celebrating 20 years of TriStateFootball.com, and he has been here for every year of it. He gets his 190th win, most all-time St. X, and this has got to feel good for you, being here for all these years and seeing Specht win all these state championships, history being made at Balaban Field.
Yeah, what a record that is, too, and an unprecedented run. And Coach Specht, one of the greatest high school football coaches in the entire country, hands down, a number that will be tough to meet. And here's the thing, Safwan, is the best. I mean, he's still got plenty ahead. I mean, the record book will still be written. St. X, our top-ranked team in this week's Blitz 5 Top 25, and looking the part here tonight. They got up early, 21-0 here versus Westerville North. I was heading over from the Blitz 5 tailgate stop tonight. We were at the first GCL South game of the season. We'll talk about that in a minute at LaSalle, but I was listening on the radio right here on ESPN 1530 on the way from the game, and it was 21-0 the first quarter. I was like, I better hurry up. I didn't know if I had time to stop and get my my Starbucks or not, but nonetheless, what a great accomplishment. And you're right. I mean, we started the site 20 years ago. Coach Specht was already here, and it's just been incredible to watch what the program's accomplished and the rivalries that he faces. And the thing is, Safwan, 190 wins is one thing, but you're talking about a school that plays the caliber of opponent that they've done that against. Really pretty impressive. But you know what? I've talked to Steve enough times to know if he was talking to us right now, he wouldn't take any credit, because any good coach will tell you it's all about the players.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, big congratulations to head coach Steve Specht. Again, that game was right here on these airways. And Dan, going and staying in the GCL South, right? Because St. X is getting ready to next week kick off GCL South play against our second ranked team in the Blitz 5 Top 25, the Moeller Crusaders, right? They were taking on Christ Presbyterian Academy tonight. They got the job done by a score of 49-21. The offense was lighting up the scoreboard. And Dan, I know we got to talk about tonight, but now the matchup is looming. Arguably the biggest game of the entire season, every single year. St. X versus Moeller. X comes in undefeated. We are going to get #1 versus #2. It doesn't get any better than that.
No, and that game will be played at West Claremont High School, and that's actually our Blitz 5 game of the week next week. So we'll have plenty of coverage for it there, as rightfully so, with the top 2 ranked teams. And I mean, Moeller, they just seem to get better and better each week. And I know that they've had a few games here where uh, it wasn't 4 quarters of football like you might expect, but tonight they put it together in a big way. And I mean, we were expecting this. I mean, this is, CPA is not the caliber of opponent of some of the others on their schedule. Certainly not the caliber of the opponent they face next week. But man, you look at this GCL South tonight. Obviously, the first game there, that between Elder and LaSalle, we'll talk about in a minute. But they're going to beat up each other. That one right there, though, obviously will be who gets in that driver's seat first. And, I think with Moeller, what's going to be interesting about them is, the defense seems to be a little inconsistent right now. They've allowed, you're looking at their scores over these past weeks. And I know some of it comes in garbage time, but really to get to where they want to go, they're going to have to pick it up on that side of the ball. We know what the offense is capable of. We're seeing it here on a nightly basis. But, before tonight, you're talking about a team. I mean, again, Trinity's a pretty good opponent. But, they gave up 21 there. They gave up 43 to Mount Carmel. Princeton put up 20 on them. Not to say that's terrible, but, I mean, if it's just not what we were expecting a little bit more out of that unit. I think there's better football ahead for them for sure. But it's not just that game. They go St. X, then they got LaSalle, then it's at Elder. So their GCL South season is the next 3 weeks, and they're in control of their own destiny like every other team there. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how it unfolds.
Absolutely. And then rounding out the GCL South, this was our Blitz 5 game of the week today, right? Because it was kicking off GCL South, talking Elder versus LaSalle, right? This was a top 10 matchup, and Elder does win the game. They double up LaSalle. That game was 16-8. The Panthers move to 4-0. And a reminder that the Elder scores are brought to you by Kelsey Truck Country on Route 50 and 275 in Lawrenceburg, Greater Cincinnati's fastest growing full service dealer and the Tri-State's #1 Chevy lease dealer, all because your family believing in ours. From our family to yours, KelseyChev.com. Dan, and I really just want to quickly finish up the GCL South. Elder doubling up LaSalle. First loss of the season for the Lancers, but Elder moves to 4-0 behind the defense, right? And opportunistic football from their quarterback, Caden Estep, undefeated going into the GCL South play coming up here. Again, as they win against LaSalle, X and Moeller looming on the schedule, but the Elder Panthers are rolling big right now, undefeated through 4 games.
Yeah, and I was at this game. I only got to stay a quarter, and it was a pretty boring quarter, 0-0. But Elder then put up 13 points, and Caden Estep continues to do what he does. He was 13-20 at their slow start. Did throw for 140 yards, just the 1 touchdown, but 10 carries, 101 on the ground. That's 9.7 a carry. I mean, that's almost a first down every time he's doing it. He did have a 39-yard run in there, but this game was all about what they did on third down, that critical down. It is the critical situations and how your team performs that really determines the winner and losers on most of these Friday nights. And tonight, LaSalle, 1 third down conversion and 8 attempts, 1 of 8 on third down. I mean, not that Elder was that great, 5 of 11, but if you can't move the sticks against this Panthers defense, frankly, looking at that, I mean, outside of that, statistically, Elder puts up 146 yards net rushing, 108 there for LaSalle. LaSalle passes for 170, 140 on the ground. So total offensive yards, 8 yards more Elder had in this football game. But the problem is they couldn't keep drives going. And if you can't do that, you're going to lose games tonight. I mean, LaSalle, honestly, they lose this game just by 8 points. That's pretty good effort. It was a really nice crowd out there on a beautiful night at Lancer Stadium. But unfortunately for LaSalle, they just didn't have enough there, on getting those first downs and keeping those drives going.
Yeah, so the 2 undefeated teams in the GCL South, St. X and Elder, and then Moeller and LaSalle with 1 loss each. All right, Dan, I do want to move on to some big-name football in the GMC with a possible upset. I think the final score is going to be coming here shortly, but number 6 Princeton was taking on number 3 Lakota West, and this was at Lakota West. This was homecoming for the Firebirds. They had a lot on the line, and many people, even myself, had Lakota West winning this game. But Dan, it was 27-10 in the 4th quarter. Princeton was winning this game. Again, I think this is going to go final here shortly, but as we checked, it was 27-10, one of the biggest upsets of the day. Princeton taking it to Tom Bolden's Firebirds.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is a shocker. I mean, I think we're all, a little surprised here. Not the fact that Princeton won the game. I mean, you're talking about the number 3 ranked Firebirds, the number 6 ranked Vikings. But you're right. This is not something that we saw coming here, and I think it's the amount of points that this score is at, as you said right now. I mean, you're talking about 3 scores. I mean, this Lakota West team, we've been talking about them as one of the best defenses in the city here. And if that's the case, I mean, tonight, 27 points to Princeton. Let's just take their hats off to Coach Andre Parker and everything they're doing up there. Hopefully we'll get to catch up with him a little bit later tonight.
Yeah, and Lakota West, when talking about them, it's the offense, right? Even though the defense wasn't perfect tonight, Jackson Smith, he's the ultimate wild card, even though he is the quarterback. The last 2 weeks, right, against Mason, he had 4 touchdowns. They were really getting the offense going, and that's where it's going to start and stop with Lakota West, right? We really count on their defense being one of the best in the city. They're going to be good mostly every time. But, Dan, this offense, only 10 points right now, and I'm assuming they didn't score many more points in the rest of this game. If this offense doesn't continue to get better, their ceiling is limited come playoff time.
Yeah, and they gave up an 80-yard touchdown run to David Hambrick. That was the first score of the game. Then we saw Zion Neal take it 52 yards to the house on another one. So, I mean, those are 2 big plays. That is not what we're expecting to see that Lakota West defense be able to do there. But their third score actually came on special teams, Juan. That Princeton blocked a 41-yard field goal attempt. It was scooped up by Nate Kennedy. He goes the distance. They get the 2-point conversion. That right there, obviously they got another touchdown. West did attempt an onside kick. They covered and returned it in the end zone. So we have 2 special teams touchdowns here for Princeton, which really widens the gap here. The defense not necessarily giving up all the points tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And a very unlike a Tom Bolden team, right? Giving up explosive plays, not being buttoned up on special teams. But again, hats off to Andre Parker and the Princeton Vikings playing this team tough, because as Princeton came into this game, they had a problem with 2 teams, right? Greg talked about it on the pregame show. They lost, I think, 7 of their last 10 games. It was to Lakota West and it was to Moeller, right? And if Princeton can, slowly start getting over the hump of Lakota West and to a bigger degree Moeller, this is a team that can, make a deep run. And I do want to stay in the GMC before we take a quick break, Dan. How about another ranked matchup in the Blitz 5 Top 25? Lakota East was taking on Hamilton tonight. Another high-scoring game from John Kitna's crew. They get the job done, beat Hamilton 31-27. A lot of offense being scored from Lakota East over these past few weeks, Stan, but they're finding a way to get the job done, and they are 3-1 to start the season.
Yeah, I mean, kudos here. This was a great game. I was following it as it was happening, watching a little bit of it even as we were preparing for the show, and the 2 teams trading punches. It was a lot closer than it indicates, but here's the thing. Lakota East is 3-1 now. Hamilton, a team that we were really high on the beginning of the season, we still think has a lot of potential. They're suddenly 1-3, 1-2 in the GMC, and that's spelling early season trouble here for Coach Crouch. And I do expect them to turn around. I mean, you look at Hamilton, losers of 2 straight. I mean, the schedule will ease up, Safwan, and we'll talk about that after we get back.
Absolutely. The Hamilton scores are brought to you by AE Door and Window Company. They sell the best and service the rest. Our thanks to Bill and Adam Weber for their continued support of high school football throughout the years. We're going to take a quick break. It's about 10 o'clock, and we are not even tired yet. We are with you until 11 o'clock, talking all things high school football in the tri-state area. So stick with us on the High School Football Tonight Show, powered by TriStateFootball.com on Cincinnati's ESPN 1530 and Fox Sports 1360.
We've been doing our own thing for more than 50 years at Gold Star.
All right, who do we want here?
Own thing. The Coney thing. The veggie thing. The fries thing. The juicy flat top burger thing. The cheesy, crunchy, wrapped up in a tortilla, can't believe this is a thing. It's not what you'd expect from a neighborhood chili parlor, and we think that.
All right, let me try to get, the first one I saw was Lakota, so let me try to get Lakota on. Coach Kitna, yeah, Lakota East.
Hi, this is Dave the Door Guy with Overhead Door Company of Northern Kentucky. Do you know why a broken garage door is like a cooler at a tailgate party? Because no one is happy until it's open. Do you have a noisy garage door, a keypad that doesn't work, or a broken spring? Well, don't fumble the ball away. Give us a call at 513.
Yep, that's the plan.
Families have trusted Kelsey Chevrolet. Now we're driving forward with a new look, the same promise, and more ways to deliver peace of mind. Visit us today and experience the difference.
All right, Kitna sent me straight to voicemail, so I'm going to try to get Volker from Beechwood.
Penn Pair Combos for only $7.99. Pair up a small fresh-cut fry with your choice of a small chicken teriyaki, chicken cordon bleu, or a pizza sub. Treat yourself and order online today. Penn Station, love your sub.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC, powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing a schedule, and responding to Jim's long emails. Leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC at dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
Stop settling for weak sound. It's time to level up your game and bring the boom. Hit the town with the ultra-durable LG X Boom portable speaker and enjoy vibrant sound wherever you go. Elevate your listening experience to new heights because, let's be real, your music deserves it. The future of sound is now with LG X.
Stand by, and Coach Volker is on the line. Volker from Beechwood.
25. Bring the boom. X Boom.
All right, we are rolling right along on the High School Football Tonight Show. Stephon Elvey, Dan Klaskins, TriStateFootball.com, talking all things high school football until 11 p.m. with you. We thank everyone for joining us, and a big thank you goes out to our sponsors here at TriStateFootball.com, proud supporters of high school football. Some of our partners are Gold Star Chili, follow your own recipe, Mellow Window and Carpet Cleaning, the best in residential cleaning services, and the Underground Sports Shop, showcasing pride on and off the field. All right, as we are continuing to roll on, it is time to talk some Northern Kentucky high school football for the first time tonight, and we have a winning head coach on the line. We're talking the Beechwood Tigers coming in at number 25 in our Blitz 5 Top 25. They are now 3-0 after a win tonight against Simon Kenton, 45-6. We have head coach Jay Volker on the line with us. Coach, congratulations on a big win. Congratulations on being 3-0. Talk to me about this win tonight. It seems like the offense and defense were clicking.
Yeah, I just talked to our guys. We broke it down. We're obviously excited about being 3-0. Did it a little bit different. Our offense is usually very high-powered, but they only got the ball about 3 times in the first half. We had a special teams touchdown. Big Kingston Brockett, an offensive defensive lineman, rumbling for about 80 yards. Defensive lineman get an interception with Austin Stevenson. Just pretty good in all 3 phases, but I still think we can be better.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are looking the part 3 weeks in, and I know you had the week 1 bye and obviously an extra week there to prepare. But, you know, looking at the early season schedule here, I mean, you guys, I mean, it's not like you're not facing bigger teams. Your team's obviously stepping up here, Jay. But, you know, with the bye and what you guys been able to accomplish in these first few weeks, I mean, from a coaching perspective, like, how do you sort of stay grounded with these guys, keep them focused on that bigger picture stuff that, you know, you hope to be playing football pretty late into November and December?
Yeah, I mean, we usually talk a little bit about that, but it's pretty easy to keep them grounded when we got Covcath at home next week. So big rivalry for us. I haven't had any success against them, so not much to say to keep them grounded. They're going to enjoy the win tonight. They deserve it, but they know coming back tomorrow that we got work to do, and ultimately, hopefully, we're making a deep run into December and bringing back number 19 to Fort Mitchell.
Yeah, Coach, that's where I wanted to go. This was your first home game of the year, right? Newcath was away, Dixie was away, and you got a big game looming. But tell me about the environment tonight, right? Your first home game, winning a state championship last year. How was the environment, and how was it playing on home field for the first time this season?
Oh, it's awesome. Anytime we get to stay here, it's unbelievable. I think they just put in a new scoreboard. It's the biggest one in the state. They're doing a great job with that. The thing is super loud. I don't know if the residents of Fort Mitchell that weren't here are going to love it, but they might as well just come out next week because you're going to be able to hear that thing all the way throughout the entire town.
Jay, obviously, I know you lost some key seniors last year. You have a pretty young football team, a junior class that is especially stacked with contributors, one of which, obviously, Tyler Fryman on both sides of the ball. I know Emmett Queen, your quarterbacks in this junior class. I mean, those guys they've got obviously a lot of experience already at the varsity level, but how have you seen some of those underclassmen sort of mature into this season and take that step forward, along with some of your seniors now, the handful of them that you do have contributing, that leadership you're seeing early in the season from these guys?
Yeah, they're doing a great job. I mean, a lot of those juniors that we call them have been playing for a long time. Nate Pabst is one of them, playing on both sides of the ball for us. But, I mean, he took strides in the playoffs last year. Fryman's been playing since he was a freshman. But there's a couple other guys. I mean, Caleb Aersmith, he's been playing as a sophomore. So they seem like juniors, but it feels like they've been here forever because they've been here the entire time I've been here and contributing. So they do a great job. They know that they can be leaders as juniors. And then our seniors, led by Carson Eshelman up front, our center, and Brody Ayler, another captain that plays running back and linebacker for us. They do an unbelievable job. I mean, we can talk about all those skill guys all we want, but our offensive line is coming together, and that's what's going to make us a great team and not just a good team.
We're chatting with head coach Jay Volker from Beechwood. His Tigers are 3-0 after a big win tonight against Simon Kenton. And, Coach, I want to talk about, just the expectations of what you guys do year in and year out. And I know that nobody has more expectations from the program than you and the players and everybody involved in this program. But when you win as much as Beechwood does, and there's all those state championships in the cupboard, talk to me about how, like, each week is different and how you kind of bounce back from season to season, knowing you are the state champions, but you kind of want to bring the leadership in and get better week in and week out, and the offseason program.
Yeah, I mean, the easy part about it is kind of what you said before, is losing a huge senior class last year. We just communicate with them that was their state championship. It was a senior class that had a lot of talent, a lot of players that have been here for a long time, and they led us to a state championship. Now it's this new seniors class's chance to win a state championship and really contribute and hang another banner. Sorry. But they're excited. They know what's expected. They expect to win. They expect to get to a state championship, and they know it's a weird thing, but it's a failure to not get to that state championship game and not bring it home. I mean, ultimately, that's not what we're here for, but it does help us out in terms of coaching to push our players to be better in every facet of their lives. But our seniors do a great job. They want to bring it home, and they're willing to come to work every single day to do so.
Yeah, Coach, no, you were absolutely right. Watching Beechwood play week in and week out, it is banger after banger. You were absolutely correct on that, right? winning those games. But, Coach, I want to thank you so much for joining us. It's always fun talking ball with you. It's always good to have you on the show. Again, congratulations on a 3-0 start, and I'm sure we'll catch up soon, all right?
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Jay. Good luck.
Absolutely. Thanks, Coach. And, Dan, talking about this Beechwood team, right? I mean, just winning is rooted in who they are, right? There's not many programs in this tri-state area that win as much and as consistently as the Beechwood Tigers.
No, and I mean, the program, it started with Coach Yeagle and what he built there. Noel Rash took it over and was something spectacular, and now Jay is just carrying that torch, and it is the kids. I mean, kids want to go to Beechwood, and there's a good reason for it. The support, the community, the program, the football. Everybody wants to get a taste of championships, and that's what they're cranking out there. It's impressive. I mean, 45-6. I mean, Simon Kenton. I mean, I think Simon Kenton's a pretty formidable opponent here, and a school that is much larger in size, and just like they've done all season. And it's cool that he's saying they did it in different ways, because he's right. Fryman and all those, that they can score points with as any team in Northern Kentucky. But tonight they got the win. It's all about Covcath next week. And to Jay's point, he has yet to beat Covcath in his tenure as head coach. So I know that's something that he'd probably like to get a taste of. But so, Flan, I'll tell you right now, there's some other exciting games going on in Northern Kentucky tonight. One of which I just want, we're a couple of small school notions why we're here before we get on to the next coach or some more updates. This game, I've been just following on Twitter. I mean, I haven't been watching it, but probably one of the more exciting games tonight took place between Dayton and Ludlow. It was like a heavyweight fight, and it just went final. Dayton wins this game 42-39 over Ludlow, a 3-point win, back and forth. I can't wait to learn more about that detail. I also, while we're talking about Coach Rash, I mentioned him. He was Jay's predecessor at Beechwood. He's the coach that took over when Coach Dave Trosper had an unexpected and tragic death of a heart attack this summer. Coach Rash came out of retirement, tough situation. Connor's been taking their licks all season. Tonight, they get their first win of the season for Coach Rash, and in Coach Strasburg's memory, they win 42-7 over Newcastle, and that's a really feel-good story for me because Coach Strasburg was a great man, and the fact that they're able to get that win and it's when you go through what those kids have gone through this year to be 0-3 is a lot to handle. So I'm glad to see them get that first taste of victory.
Of course, our thoughts and prayers are continued with the Connor football program and everybody in Dave Trosper's family. He was a friend of the show, a friend of all of us. Again, big congratulations there. And how awesome was it for, Coach Noel Rash to step up? He was in retirement, right? He was kind of doing his own thing and then stepping up in a time of need. That's a lot of fun. And then going back to that Dayton game, right? How awesome was that? They got a big win after losing last week, Dan, right? It was 48-6 against Owen County. They got bludgeoned and then come back and bounce back the way they did, getting their second win of the season. These are teams maybe that don't get the spotlight that Covcath does or Cooper does. But when they play games like this and, they get multiple wins on the schedule, it's very fun to see.
Oh, absolutely. And they got that new stadium down here, which the Green Devil Stadium, which is just, I haven't been to it yet, but just driving by it, it's pretty spectacular. Ludlow, it's tough for them. They fall to 1-3. So as you mentioned, Dayton now 2-2, and this was a game that went down to the wire. The final score came up on it. Looks like the final touchdown, the go-ahead touchdown, the Panthers fumbled it. It was recovered by the Green Devils. No, that wasn't the score there. It was McCallie Kennedy, a 59-yard touchdown run with 4 minutes to go in the game. They failed the 2-point conversion. That was the deciding score. So, wow, it was all the way down to the wire. But, Dayton and Ludlow combining for almost 90 points there. Pretty fantastic.
Absolutely. And some other small schools over there in Northern Kentucky. We have some finals over there. We had Scott taking on Grant County, with Scott getting a 48-22 win there. And then we had Holy Cross taking on Holmes. Holy Cross pitching a shutout. Tommy Maddox had a 97-yard kickoff return, which is his second of the year. Holy Cross, Dan, going to 4-0. How about Holy Cross and a really fun start to their season?
Yeah, what a great story it is too. And Holmes, it's tough. They're going through a rebuilding of their own there. This is a pretty big school against a pretty small school. Most of these kids know each other. They grow up and live in the same neighborhood. So Holy Cross, though, you mentioned 4-0. And while we're talking about 4-0 Northern Kentucky teams, let's go ahead and talk about Lloyd. They had an interstate matchup tonight. The Juggernauts taking down Aiken 36-22. Lloyd's 4-0, and it's the second time in 3 years the Juggernauts have gotten off to this fast start. They were 3-1 last year because they played Covcath in week 1 and lost, but this is a program heading in the right direction.
Yeah, and Lloyd, remember, Aiken came into this game undefeated, right? They were 3-0 coming into this game, and that's a really big win for Lloyd. Again, some Northern Kentucky schools going 4-0. Again, it's a lot of fun to watch. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We still have a lot to get to. We're going to talk some Eastern Indiana football and some other small school football in Southwest Ohio as well. And, of course, we're going to talk to some more head coaches and hand out some game balls as well. So stick with us on the High School Football Tonight Show, powered by TriStateFootball.com on Cincinnati's ESPN 1530 and Fox Sports 1360.
For over 20 years, the Underground...
All right, who should I get here?
Sports teams, fans, and businesses who are looking for quality products with prices they can afford. From uniforms and sports gear to fan apparel and promotional items, we take pride in providing you with the customized products you need and the service you deserve. To place an order, visit us online at the...
Yeah, I've got my calling software up now, so if you want to just read it to me, I'll just type it in and dial them up now.
662. That's the Underground Sports Shop, showcasing pride on and off the field.
Thanks.
Everyone can help keep our roads safe. When I'm driving my truck, I'll remember to check my mirrors for smaller vehicles. And when you're on the road, try to
937-283-7256.
safely. Visit www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
Hey, it's Tony Pike here, new at Penn Station. It's the Penn Pair Combos. For only $7.99, pair up a small fresh-cut fry with your choice of a small chicken teriyaki, chicken cordon bleu, or a pizza sub. Treat yourself and order online today. Penn Station, love your sub.
We've been doing our own thing for more than 50 years at Gold Star. All so you can do your own thing. The Coney thing. The veggie thing.
He did not answer. Let me try him again.
Juicy flat top burger thing. The cheesy, crunchy, wrapped up in a tortilla can't believe this is a thing. It's not what you'd expect from a neighborhood chili parlor, and we think that's a good thing. At Gold Star, you're invited to come as you are.
Okay.
Like, and follow your own recipe.
Do you want me to try to pivot back to Kitna from Lakota East?
Favorite for sports team.
Okay.
Who are looking for quality products with prices they can afford. From uniforms and sports gear to fan apparel and promotional items, we take pride in providing you with the customized products you need and the service you deserve. To place an order, visit us online at theundergroundsportsshop.com or call us at 513-751-1662. That's the Underground Sports Shop, showcasing pride on and off the field.
Stop settling for weak sound. It's time to level up your game and bring the boom. Hit the town
Great. Nothing from Kitna either.
Boom portable speaker and enjoy vibrant sound wherever you go.
Anyone else you want me to try?
Heights, because let's be real, your music deserves it.
Yeah,
G
I guess. Because, yeah, no one's picking up.
Send at LG.com with code FALL25. Bring the boom. X Boom.
We're on to week 4 of Blitz 5 football. Tonight at 11 on WLWT, we have some heavy hitters. The game of the week is a top 10 showdown between two unbeatens. 9th-ranked LaSalle hosts 5th-ranked Elder. Only one will remain perfect. Highlights and post-game interviews on the way. Plus, Taft tries to improve to 4-0 against Mount Healthy. Those games and plenty more fun tonight on Channel 5 at 11 o'clock. For Jaron May and the Blitz 5 crew, we will see you then.
All right. Safwan Elvey, Dan Klaskins, TriStateFootball.com. Here on ESPN 1530, Fox Sports 1360. Here with you until 11 p.m. talking all things high school football in Southwest Ohio, Eastern Indiana, and Northern Kentucky. And Dan, while we continue along and keep this train rolling, we're going to head right back to the Underground Sports Shop scoreboard and talk about some of the teams we haven't got to talk about yet. Let's talk some ECC football, Dan, right? A conference we haven't knocked out yet. Kings, right, number 8 in our Blitz 5 top 25. They were taking on 22nd ranked West Claremont. West Claremont coming off a tough loss last week to Loveland. They were looking to bounce back, but Dan, unfortunately, they were not able to do that as they were shut out 31-0. Kings playing some really good defense over there. Another game that was happening that I don't see a final score on, but I'm assuming the game was finished. It was another top 25 matchup. It was number 4 Anderson taking on number 20 Lebanon. Last time I checked, Anderson was winning that game. I don't have a final on that, but Anderson was winning that game. And then number 10, Whitten Woods, they were taking on Turpin. And again, not a final score on that one, but Whitten Woods was winning by multiple scores. Any thoughts on some of the big teams in the ECC? And the final score we do have, obviously, Kings taking on West Claremont, and West Claremont struggling for 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I mean, West Claremont, obviously, it's been a little bit rough here for them getting shut out tonight by Kings. Not terribly surprising. I mean, Kings' defense is pretty great, but you started the season. We had them ranked, midway through our rankings there. I don't remember the exact place, but in the teens, and they started off pretty good, 42-7. They beat Mount Healthy. We sort of rode off the Anderson loss because Anderson is the powerhouse, but give up 49 points 2 straight weeks. They do a little bit better this time, giving it to Kings, but that's more Kings holding the ball on the ground. And just looking at the stats in this game, I mean, it was over before halftime. A 17-point second quarter. They put up 24 points before intermission, and Kings on the night, so it's just the same formula we talked about before with LaSalle and Elder. It really comes down to third down and moving the sticks. West Claremont, the entire game, 1 third down conversion on 8 attempts, 7 of 10 for Kings. West Claremont lost the turnover battle 2-1, but this game really it was on the run. It never got to a running clock, but it was 31-0 at the end of the third quarter, and they pretty much just ran out the fourth quarter here. So now what's interesting, West Claremont, they're 0-3. They're in the cellar here, but you look at the rest of the standings, and assuming Anderson held on, which we're assuming they did, you have 2 undefeated teams left, Kings and Anderson. Lebanon, they're 3-1 now, so they're in third place. But I mean, it's really going to boil down to that big matchup 2 weeks from tonight, or actually, it's next week.
Yeah.
Next week, Anderson takes on Kings. So we'll see what Kings is made of, because right now I think most people in the state consider Anderson one of the top teams for a State 2 title, and Kings is going to get a good measuring stick next week. It's at Kings, which should play to their advantage, and it'll be a matchup we're certainly looking forward to watching.
Yeah, absolutely. Kings passed their first big test against Winton Woods a couple weeks ago when they won 16-14. Their defense showed up, and again, Anderson is looming next week. What a big game that is going to be. I do want to pivot, Dan, to the CHL, maybe one of the biggest upsets of the night, right? Depending on how you look at this, because it was a dominating performance, right? I'm talking Indian Hill versus Wyoming, right? The two teams that many of us expected to be at the top of this CHL league, and Indian Hill dominates this game, 28-7 over Wyoming. Devlin Daniel had 3 touchdowns tonight, 2 of them passing, 1 of them rushing. And Dan, it was both ways, right? Their superstar was great, 3 total touchdowns from Daniel, but this Indian Hill defense stifled Aaron Hancock's Cowboys.
Yeah, this one's a shocker. I mean, obviously, Indian Hill's a team that we've been pretty impressed by all season. Wyoming, not the powerhouse they used to be, but this is only their second regular season loss in 90-something games now. So anytime you see it, if you would have told me at the beginning of the night they were going to lose, I was like, all right, this is probably a coin flip game. The manner in which they lost, I don't know if it was, I didn't see the game, so it's hard to speculate, but seems like Wyoming took it to them, and Wyoming definitely in a different class right now, perhaps, or Indian Hill, I should say. What's interesting about Indian Hill is this team has scored, they scored 51 last week against New Richmond, but 30 week 1, 37 week 2. Tonight against their best opponent of the season, they still put up 4 touchdowns. So the schedule's pretty easy sailing the rest of the way here. I mean, Marymount at Taylor, Finneytown. I mean, who's challenging there? At Madeira, they're a little. So really, I mean, Deer Park's the only other team undefeated here right now. They won tonight as well, and we'll talk about them in a minute. But I mean, they don't play them until week 9. So looks like week 9 is a date we're circling on the CHL calendar for a good one here. But Indian Hill looks like a team that's going to be playing pretty deep into November to me, Stephon.
Absolutely. Wyoming playing a lot of close games early in the season. Last week against Monroe, they won 34-27. Week 1, they beat Ross 24-21. And there's a lot of youth on Wyoming, right? Quarterback David Dupee's only a junior. Their tackling machine, Tyler Johnson Huff, is also only a junior. So they're going to be good. They're going to win a lot of games. But Indian Hill, again, dominating performance. It was very nice to see. Coach Rodenberg does a great job over there at Indian Hill. And I do want to, pivot now, do some small school football all in Southwest Ohio. Just going to reel off some scores for you, Dan. Let me know what you find interesting. We had Bethel Tate taking on Goshen tonight, right? That was an interstate matchup, a little Northern Kentucky and Ohio matchup.
No. They're both Ohio.
Oh, both Ohio. Oh, yeah. On our scoreboard, it said interstate.
Yeah, that's a typo.
Right there.
That's a little typo.
But Goshen was dominating that game, and they did end up winning 53-19. We had Wilmington taking on Ross. That was a close game over there. Wilmington with a 21-13 win, and then Western Brown was taking on Jackson. Jackson with a 49-14 win there. And then we had the Battle of the Cider Keg, right? Stop me if I think I'm saying that right. The Cider Keg, right?
That's the way I'm reading it.
We're talking Clinton Massey versus Blanchester. Clinton Massey with a dominant 49-7 win, and they retain the Cider Keg. And Dan, anything?
Let's talk a little bit about that Goshen football team, because and tonight was homecoming night at Goshen. So we definitely, we love our homecoming nights, but this is a team that's doing something different this year. I mean, it was great because, tonight we get a homecoming win 53-19. Bethel Tate, I mean, not the best season so far for them, and hopefully they can get it, turn around here as we get a little deeper into the calendar. But this is a 3-1 start for Goshen. That's the first time they've been 3-1 since 2017. So definitely some Warrior pride boiling out there, and a lot of people out in Claremont County starting to get excited about going out to football games again on Friday night. So we're really happy to see that progress. But looking ahead, I mean, the road's going to be tough. I think we're looking at a football team here that certainly gaining some confidence. But the other one, the Cider Keg, I don't know much about the rivalry itself, but that is now I'm intrigued to figure out exactly what it is that the Cider Keg is all about, and why that, it's always interesting. Why do they call these things?
Yeah, and whatever that backstory is, right, it belongs to Clinton Massey on this night, right? 49-7 dominant victory, and some other games happening around. Another team, right, 4-0. We're talking for the first time since 2018. How about Deer Park, right? 26-6 over Reading. And then Madeira, they were taking on Finneytown tonight. Madeira, the Mustangs, pitching a shutout there, 27-0. And then another close game between some really small schools. Cincinnati Country Day was taking on CCPA. Country Day wins that game 24-22. So anything standing out to you in those games, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, that's not surprising. They always come out big there. And I will say that when we look at, and I was looking at this other game that I wanted to transition to, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
We were talking, I lost my place here. I'm sorry, I had the screen pulled up. In terms of what we're talking about with 4-0 football teams, that's where I was going. Yep. As we head over to the SWAC, there's a team that came out to our kickoff party, Talawanda, at Gold Star Chili, and I got to meet and the coach and talk to a lot of the players that night, and they were excited. But dude, they win tonight, 35-10 over Franklin. They're 4-0 right now, and I mean, you're talking about a team here that just is clicking on all cylinders. Lance Cantrell, I mean, probably one of the best running back. He's getting a game ball tonight. I'll tell you right now. Tonight he goes off for 212 yards on just 17 carries. He had an 82-yard long, 3 touchdowns on the night. And this senior is for real. You're talking about in week 1, 5 touchdowns. He actually did not get into the end zone in week 2 against Meadowdale. It's because they were up 42-6 that he didn't hardly play. Well, he still had 20 carries for 127 yards. But 4 touchdowns last week, 3 touchdowns this week. Stephon, I mean, he didn't even score in one of the games. He's got 12 rushing touchdowns in 4 games. You're talking about a dude that's already got 1,075 yards rushing. He's averaging 268 yards per game. I mean, this is unbelievable. I mean, can I get this guy on my fantasy team?
Man, what an awesome start for Talawanda, right? This is a team, right, that's had their ups and downs over these past couple years, right? Bringing in the coaching staff, coming in 4-0. It's really awesome and exciting to see for them.
Yeah, and you look at this game tonight. I mean, obviously, Franklin, you know, they haven't had the best of seasons either. But I mean, again, it was pretty competitive statistically. I mean, outside the rushing attempts, I mean, you know, it wasn't like they were shutting them down, but they ran for 238 yards to 125, and to score 35 points with that many rushing attempts, it's because you're getting these huge chunk of runs. Dude's averaging 12.5 yards per carry for the season. I mean, that says it all.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. And Dan, I do want to pivot now to a place we haven't talked about yet, right? How about Eastern Indiana, right? Going over to East Central, right? I saw this game. It was late in the fourth quarter. East Central was winning this game 35-14. Again, if you have a final, let me know. But I'm going to go ahead and assume that East Central was going to tie the knot in that game. And it was a big win for them because this game was close, you know, in the second quarter, third quarter. Franklin County actually had a lead early in this game.
It was 14-14 at half.
14-14 at halftime. It was very close. And then East Central went on a big run. They scored a couple of touchdowns. East Central, number 21 in our Blitz 5 top 25. And that's not where we're used to seeing them, right, especially over the past 2 to 3 years. But big win for head coach Miners, beating a pretty good Franklin County team.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And Franklin County, I mean, give them credit. They came in to play tonight. I mean, they're a little overmatched, and they definitely have a size disadvantage in that one. But Connorsville won tonight too, 28-7. So another big win for them. But I think when you look at East Central, it's interesting because you know, they had the loss there to Harrison. I mean, they've looked pretty impressive in all their wins. But if you'll note, even the Lawrenceburg game, the game tonight, they haven't really yet put 4 quarters of football together. And when they do, holy cow, we'll see what the potential of it is. And I'm sure that, you know, as coach looks at things there, I mean, that's good because he's, you know, they're winning, but he's still finding these coachable things, and that's going to keep this team hungry. And now that they moved up in class a little bit, things are going to get a little tougher in the postseason than they're used to there in St. Leon.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Hopefully on the back end, we'll have some head coaches to talk to. And, of course, we're going to hand out some game balls as well as we get ready to wrap this thing up. So we'll be right back on the High School Football Tonight Show, powered by TriStateFootball.com on ESPN 1530 and Fox Sports 1360.
We're on to week 4 of Blitz 5 football. Tonight at 11 on WLWT, we have some heavy hitters. The game of the week is a top 10 showdown between two unbeaten. 9th-ranked LaSalle hosts 5th-ranked Elder. Only one will remain per.
Okay. Let me see if I can take care of that real quick.
Proved to 4-0 against Mount Healthy. Those games and plenty more fun tonight on Channel 5 at 11 o'clock. For Jaron May and the Blitz 5 crew, we will see you then.
Hey, it's Tony Pike here. New at Penn Station, it's the Penn Pair Combos. For only $7.99, pair up a small fresh cut fry with your choice of a small chicken teriyaki, chicken cordon bleu, or a pizza sub. Treat yourself and order online today. Penn Station, love your sub.
Today, 1 in 5 Americans experience emotional and mental health challenges, but many of us don't know how to ask for help.
At the American Psychiatric Association Foundation, we work every day to eliminate stigma and advance mental health. Visit mentallyhealthynation.org to learn more.
Mela Services has been your one-stop shop for window and carpet cleaning for over 15 years. We've built a reputation for excellence with thorough, responsive, and dependable service. Mela's proud of our 4.9 out of 5-star Google ranking because it means we've delivered excellent service to our customers over and over again. So let us put our award-winning team of cleaning experts to work for you. Check us out at melaservices.com/football.
Stop settling for weak sound. It's time to level up your game and bring the boom. Hit the town with the ultra-durable LG X Boom portable speaker and enjoy vibrant sound wherever you go. Elevate your listening experience to new heights because, let's be real, your music deserves it. The future of sound is now with LG X Boom. And for a limited time, save 25% at LG.com with code FALL25. Bring the boom. X Boom.
You work hard to provide for yourself and your family, and that's why identity theft is so scary. Not only does it pose a threat to your financial well-being, everything you...
All right, Coach Parker's on. What were you saying?
Danger to your family, even...
Do you want me to do both in this segment or leveling next? Okay.
Social...
Yeah. All right, I'll try to get them both on.
LifeLock monitors millions of data points.
Stand by.
If your identity is stolen, LifeLock will fix it guaranteed or your money back. Act now and save up to 40% your first year at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
All right, it's a Fawn Ovey. It's Dan Klaskins, TriStateFootball.com. Here on ESPN 1530, Fox Sports 1360. High school football tonight is brought to you in part by Thomas More University. Accelerate your degree with a business degree from Thomas More University. Penn Station, hometown love in every sub, and Overhead Door Company of Northern Kentucky, serving greater Cincinnati communities since 1947. Call 513-347-DOOR. All right, we are excited to be joined by our next head coach of the evening. We're talking some GMC football and what was a top 10 matchup. We had number 6 Princeton taking on number 3 Lakota West. We have head coach Andre Parker on the line as the Princeton Vikings get a 27-10 win as they pick up their 3rd consecutive win of the season. Coach, congratulations on a big win, and again, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you, and thanks for having me.
Coach, you're looking at the victory here tonight. I mean, you guys did it, obviously, some great defense, but a couple big special teams play. The offense did just enough. It looks like a total team effort. Take us through some of those big plays. Take us through some of those big plays that made the difference there to pull away in this game.
Well, I'll tell you what I think. I think Andrew Wells played one heck of a game. I think we had 14 tackles. He blocked 2 field goals. Which really set the tone and put some pressure on him. He's a captain for us, and he's a 3-year starter, so he's played a lot of football. He really set the tone. It was a total, complete ball game by our team. I thought we played really well in all 3 phases. We knew it's about who's going to make the least amount of mistakes. 2 really good, talented teams, really coached teams. So we were able, our special teams was really big for us tonight. Now, I thought we need to clean up a couple selfish penalties that we had. We gave them a couple extra chances, but I'm really proud about how hard and physical we played.
Yeah, Coach, and it looked like on offense it ran through David Hambrick, right, your senior running back. He had 8 attempts for 113 yards and a touchdown, was averaging 14 yards per carry. Obviously, one of them was explosive. Talk to me about his performance tonight and, that senior leadership really taking over this offense.
Well, he's a common effect for us. He's another 3-year starter. And, those guys were here sophomores. They were able to come to Lakota West as sophomores and win. So we were pretty confident. He had Slade and Samola. We had a really big first half against Samola. Got hurt. He hadn't played since then, so we were able to get him back. And probably could have gave him a little more carries, but we wanted to be careful with him. So.
Andre, Lakota West, obviously this is a big win for you guys, not just in the GMC, but your playoff, everything to picture, but most of all the confidence. picking up a victory against a quality opponent like that, I mean, what's that do to help build your team's confidence, and especially in some of your younger players that maybe haven't got a taste of a lot of big wins just yet?
Yeah, I think it's a huge step in the right direction. Now we'll just focus on East next week. We felt like we let the Moeller game get away from us. We had opportunities, and we ended up turning the ball over 6 times. So the one thing that we were determined was not to beat ourselves in this week, and just play some clean football.
Yeah, Coach, and when playing in the GMC, right, no game is easy, right? Coleraine and Sycamore may not be at their peak right now, but playing teams like Lakota West, Lakota East, Mason, et cetera, winning these 3 games in a row, right? The defense has been playing really well, under 10 points in 3 consecutive games. You really got to feel good about that side of the ball, and again, playing tough teams in this GMC conference.
Yeah, we're going to go through the meat grinder for the next 4 or 5 weeks, and we've talked about it. We're focused on one day at a time to get better. I think that's the biggest thing we did. We really focused on the really good small things and taking care of what we can take care of. And like I said, we're all eyes are doing.
Yeah, that is head coach Andre Parker from the Princeton Vikings. They pick up a big win at Lakota West tonight, 27-10. Coach, I want to thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on this really big win. You guys are rolling right now. We love watching you guys. We love catching up. Again, best of luck next season or next week and throughout the season, and we'll catch up soon, all right?
I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for everything you do for this team.
Thank you, Coach. Right, appreciate it.
Enjoy that time with the team there. They're pretty excited in the background. I wasn't going to ask him to sing. It sounds like he's still on the bus, maybe. I don't know. But
man, when talking about this team, right, this is the Princeton, right? Again, they didn't play the most perfect game. It wasn't the most clean game with all the penalties. But when we talk about Princeton being able to take that next step, it's games like these, right? We expect Lakota West to make a deep playoff run. But when Princeton plays like this, right, when the defense is going, when David Hambrick is going, right, Andre Wells, he mentioned, this is a Princeton team that can play against anybody.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I mean, like Coach Andre Parker just told us, I mean, you came out week 1. It was a little rough there versus Moeller, but the way they've been able to rebound is great. And a win like this, I mean, really does set them up. They have a few tough ones coming. I mean, Lakota East, Mason, Hamilton. Those are the, Middletown. I mean, Middletown obviously is right there in the standings as well. But I think that right now, you look at Lakota West, I mean, there's the team that you're sort of how are they going to go from here? What's this going to mean in the playoff seedings down the road? Because, I mean, Lakota West, I mean, they've lost a tough one there, week 1 against St. X, 14-7. They roll off 2 pretty sound victories against quality teams in Mason and Hamilton this lost tonight. But playoff seeding, this year, with 16 teams going to make it in Division I, I mean, this could bump Lakota West down. I mean, even if they win out at this point, this could really bump them down a couple spots, which really now you're seeing an opponent that's, could potentially give you a game and beat you in round 2 instead of round 3. So the road just got a little bit harder for Lakota West tonight, but I'm not writing off these Firebirds and Coach Bolden just yet. We know what that team's capable of too. So kudos to Princeton. It's a big win for the Vikings. And I know those Vikings Nation, which there are some dedicated members of, they're pretty excited tonight, brother.
Absolutely. Again, big win for Princeton right there, beating Lakota West 27-10. And Dan, I want to jump.
Coach Mullins of Loveland is on.
Oh, actually, real quick, we actually have another coach on the hotline. We have Loveland head coach joining us after they picked up a big win tonight. I had the score right in front of me. It was 42-21. Coach, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on a big win.
Thank you.
Yeah, Bob. I mean, this was a big win for you guys here tonight. For those of us that weren't there, I mean, what was the keys to victories here for Loveland?
Well, we did a great job of establishing the run game and stopping the run on defense. And, our kids just did a great job. It was a close game at halftime, and we came out in the second half and we scored on every possession on offense. And then on defense, we were able to shut them out in the second half. So the kids just did a great job of responding to some of the adjustments that we made. We challenged our guys at halftime, and I'm really proud of the kids for how they handled that.
Yeah, Coach, it was a big win tonight, and you've played, close games all year, right? It was your guys' record was 0-3, but you only lost a one-score game to Kings last week, which is one of the best teams in the city, right? You guys went at Lebanon, and it was 28-25, and the Harrison game was, pretty good in the first week. So this win's got to feel good, and you guys played a lot of close games, so it had to feel real good coming out with the W tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. It's our kids have played some good ball, and we just haven't gotten paid yet. And, you got to give credit to those teams that we played earlier in the year. They made plays in the game. When the games were on the line earlier in the year, their kids made plays that won their team the game. And tonight, our guys made critical plays in the second half, and defense got off the field, offense finished drives. It was just a really good team effort tonight. And, I'm just really proud of my guys. It's not easy when you're staring at an 0-3 start, and you really gotta dig deep and figure out ways to get the job done.
Yeah, and it sure happened here tonight. And obviously you talk about a close game, they pull away. Halftime adjustment's a big part of it, but ultimately, when you look at your guys, I'm not looking at the stats here tonight, but I'm imagining you guys came up with some big turnovers because, or some big pivotal stops because, it pretty much shut them down the second half.
Yeah, we got some critical stops, but our offense just did an outstanding job of controlling the clock. We're a triple option offense, and we were able to manage the clock, and we were able to score. And then our defense went back out and would get 3 and outs and get off the field. And then the offense would go back out, put a long drive together, and then score. And we were able to do that. And, and when you win that time of possession and the other team doesn't get as many possessions, it puts a lot of pressure on them when you're scoring because, how many possessions are you going to have left? And when you look up and there's not much time left and you're down, you're down by 21, it's tough. So credit to our kids. They just did it. They did an outstanding job of executing the game plan. And, I thought that they just really responded to, we really challenged them at halftime. We weren't happy about how we were playing, and we challenged our guys at halftime, and they responded.
Yeah, we're talking to head coach Bob Mullins from Loveland as they picked up their first win of the season by a score of 42-21. And coach, you guys had played 2 consecutive road games, both of them so close. It probably felt really good to come back home, play on some home turf, and then obviously play the way you guys did. It's nothing like playing at Loveland.
Yeah, Loveland's an outstanding community. The community support is awesome. The crowd was fantastic tonight. And, yeah, it's been tough, man. We went on the road to Lebanon, lost in overtime. And then we lost by 1 score last week to Kings, and it was a good game, And like I said, give credit to Kings last week. They made the plays in the fourth quarter to win the game. We didn't. It was a great learning experience for our kids, and but there's nothing better than winning at Loveland on Friday night.
Yeah, and you guys sure did it here tonight. ECC football, man. Doesn't matter what team 2 teams are playing. You're going to get a good game to watch, and we certainly saw one here tonight, Coach, so we always appreciate your time.
Hey, thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, there's Bob Mullins.
Take care. Bye.
Head coach Loveland, and getting that first dub. A big deal there, Safwan. And have you ever been out to Loveland
for a football game? I have not seen a football game there. Obviously, covering them for a couple of years, but I still have not been able to see a game out in Loveland.
Yes, it's been a few years since I've been there, but a fantastic place. Obviously, it's a great little community as well, just to between the bike trail and all the fun stuff. But they they love their football team up there, and it's good to see them get on the winning track here tonight in that homecoming game, or return to home. I'm not sure it was their official homecoming game.
Yeah, and it's just one of those teams, especially in the ECC, with it being so deep. You saw their record coming into tonight; it was 0-3. But you look at them; they played a close game against Kings, right? They played a close game against Lebanon. So that's how Dan, how deep this ECC this conference is. That you see a team like Loveland coming in, whose records not aesthetically pleasing, but they can beat anybody on any given night.
It's gonna be fun to watch. See what happens when they play Turpin next week. Walnut Hills after that. They can start stacking some dubs pretty quick here.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to take our last break of the evening. We're going to come back. We're going to reset the scoreboard, talk about some history being made tonight from some of our top teams, and then we're going to hand out some game balls as well as we put a cherry on top of the show tonight. So stick with us on the High School Football Tonight Show, powered by TriStateFootball.com on ESPN 1530 and Fox Sports 1360.
We've been doing our own thing for more than 50 years at Gold.
Anyone here, or are we done?
Your own thing. The Coney thing. The veggie thing. The
Okay.
thing. The juicy flat top burger thing. The cheese.
Yeah, just keep me updated on that.
Yeah.
McNick one? Okay.
It's not what you'd expect from a neighborhood
I will get McNick on.
thing. At Gold Star, you're invited to come as you are, like what you like, and follow your own recipe.
Hi, this is Dave the Door Guy with Overhead Door Company of Northern Kentucky. Do you know why a broken garage door is like a cooler at a tailgate party? Because no one is happy until it's open. Do you have a noisy garage door, a keypad that doesn't work, or a broken spring? Well, don't fumble the ball away. Give us a call at 513-347-DOOR.
For 10 years, families have trusted Kelsey Chevrolet. Now we're driving forward with a new look, the same promise, and more ways to deliver peace of mind. Visit us today and experience the difference. From our family to yours, KelseyChev.com.
Hey, it's Tony Pike here, new at Penn Station. It's the Penn Pair Combos. For only $7.99, pair up a small fresh cut fry with your choice of a small chicken teriyaki, chicken cordon bleu, or a pizza sub. Treat yourself and order online today. Penn Station, love your sub.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC, powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing a schedule, and responding to Jim's long emails. Leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC at dell.com/AI.
Coach Orlando is on.
Stay ahead.
Stop settling for weak sound. It's time to level up your game and bring the boom. Hit the town with the ultra-durable LG X Boom portable speaker and enjoy vibrant sound wherever you go. Elevate your listening experience to new heights because, let's be real, your music deserves it. The future of sound is now with LG X Boom. And for a limited time,
Here we go.
then at LG.com with code FALL25. Bring the boom.
Yep, I got you.
All right, we're having a lot of fun here. High School Football Tonight Show, powered by TriStateFootball.com, Cincinnati's ESPN 1530, Fox Sports 1360, Safwan Alvi, Dan Klaskins, TriStateFootball.com. We want to remind you that right after this, live, WLWT Blitz 5 at 11 o'clock, all the scores and highlights from across the area. Join Charlie Clifford and Jaron May just a few minutes, 11 o'clock on WLWT Channel 5. And Dan, we're going to stick with the coaches' interviews, right? This is the best part of the show. We love talking to our winning coaches, and we have McNick head coach Mike Orlando on the line. They were taking on Roger Bacon tonight, and they pitch a shutout, 26-0. The Rockets are victorious. Coach, congratulations on a big win, and, that's where I want to start is that defense. You guys pitched a shutout. Tell me about that unit tonight and getting that second win of the season.
Well, yeah, thanks for having me, and yeah, it was a good win for sure. We started out 1-2, losing the last couple of weeks, and it was good to get back in the win column for sure. Yeah, the defense played great again, and honestly, the defense played great the last 2 weeks. It was the offensive side of things that last couple of weeks that we just couldn't get things going, and but yeah, the defense showed up again tonight, and if we continue to play like this, we'll have a chance in every game. But yeah, so it was good. It was a good night.
Yeah, definitely. And you talk about the offense a little bit as well. I mean, the running game got going tonight with Royce. Looks like he had another 100-yard game, a touchdown. Samfus threw for one, ran for one. Just talk a little bit about, the keys to the victory. At the end of the day, I mean, obviously 26-0. You guys come up with. The turnover battle was pretty even. The total yards, I mean, it wasn't you guys got way more than 333 total yards in the game, and it was the 174 yards to just 10 yards rushing for Roger Bacon. That running game you guys have going, Coach, is really being the difference maker here, and something you can really run behind the rest of the way here.
Yeah, for sure. We lost our returning 3-year starter Caleb Nauman last in week 2. He broke his foot, going to be out for the rest of the year. So, we were kind of and to be honest, we're still trying to find our identity when we knew he was healthy, and then when he goes down, we're definitely looking for an identity because he was our bell cow, right? He was the guy that we're going to turn the handball to, and rightfully so. But yeah, so proud of Joe Royce, the way he stepped in there, and the last couple of weeks as a sophomore, and can continue to get the ground game going, and made a switch there on the quarterback position, and things look better tonight. So it's still a work in progress. We're still trying to figure things out, and it's going to take a couple weeks to do that. But glad to where we're at in the process for sure.
Yeah, Coach, I know this is a big win for you. I know you have a lot of respect for head coach Blatt over there at Roger Bacon.
Yep.
Playing as well as you guys did today, in the Miami Valley Conference that has a lot of good teams in it, right? Very underrated teams in this conference. So it's got to, feel good to get a shutout win and, hopefully get the ball rolling in this season.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I do. Mike does a tremendous job of, I actually taught with Mike, probably 15 years ago when I first got my start at McNick. I was out at Oak Hills where Mike was at, and so I know Mike. I've known Mike for a long time. He does a tremendous job with his teams, and yeah, they're a good bunch, and we just played well tonight, and they really couldn't get anything going offensively, and it was it's one of those nights. So yeah, they'll do well. They'll win a bunch of games in the conference, and a step in the right direction for us, and we'll hopefully continue it next week when we play Purcell.
Yeah, I miss all you guys being in the same conference. It's still a little weird for me and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. To be honest, we this was our first GCL game, and that's why we've been doing it for years because they play like a GCL team. That they're tough and gritty and hard nosed. So yeah, the GCL play has started for us, even though they're not in our conference anymore. For sure.
You bring up some good points, with your team. The injuries, obviously, a key part a lot of teams have to deal with. But
sure,
one of the big differences in these last few years with the playoff shakeups, and it's not, the pressure's not on as much, right? Because, I mean, not like it was a few years ago where there was little margin of error to get to the postseason.
Sure.
So from a coach's perspective, and certainly as you guys work your way through finding this identity, and you still got a lot of tough games ahead. I mean, it does give you sort of a chance to sort of rebuild here. And how has your philosophy changed over time with the playoff structure when it comes to not taking the desperation out of a Week 4 game like you might have seen just a few short years ago?
Yeah, no, that you're dead on, man. It's before when they were only taking 8, like we had to get to 7 wins. Like we felt like if we got to 7, we had a pretty good shot. 6, we're on the bubble. Then they went to 16, and it was like, okay, like if we don't make the playoffs, we don't want to be in. Like we don't deserve to be in the playoffs if you're not making it with 16. So we took the opportunity to go play some teams. We played. Going back to like 21, I guess we played Highlands, played Beechwood in there. We played Steubenville. Played Hartley for a couple years, played Ironton this year, went down to Wheelersburg. So it gives you opportunity to have some, experiences, right? Going down to Wheelersburg and play, it's great, small hometown, type, shut down the city type thing. And, same thing in Steubenville, my own town, went back there last year. So it affords you that opportunity to go and play some places. And, if you don't end up on the right side of things, it's okay. It's not all for naught. So, this year with 12, it gets a little bit, we can't like just load up and play whoever. You still got to be a little bit mindful of it, but you definitely have the opportunity there to play some teams.
That is head coach Mike Orlando from the McNick Rockets. They win tonight 26-0, pitching a shutout against Roger Bacon. Coach, I want to thank you so much for joining us. It's always great talking to you. It's always great talking ball with you. Best of luck moving forward, and I'm sure we'll catch up soon, all right?
I really appreciate it. Thanks for all you guys do for high school sports, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate you. And Dan, that's a big win for McNick, right? They played well this season, getting a shutout going into the season, as you alluded to. It's always fun to see McNick getting a win like that and moving on to their season.
It is. It's been, and like I said, for me, it's still weird. Roger Bacon and Purcell and McNick aren't all in the same conference, but like he said, it is what it is. They still know each other well. They are still rivals and still a lot of fun. So.
Absolutely. All right, Dan, you want to go hand out some game balls?
Oh,
right? We got
game balls.
Here.
I mean, we got some scores. I mean, whatever you want to do, man. We've had a lot of fun, and
we'll do a couple game balls, right? We'll just maybe hand out.
Let's hand out some game balls. Let's hand out some game balls.
Again, good. Highlighting all the best performances across the tri-state area. And Dan, I'll go ahead and kick us off with maybe the ultimate game ball. Right? How about head coach Steve Speck? right? Getting his 190th victory, the most in the history of St. X, right? That illustrious program. Head coach Speck becomes the winningest head coach in Bomber history with 190. The number one ranked Bombers, they win tonight 28-0, pitching a shutout against Westerville North, and they get ready to kick off GCL South play next week against the Moeller Crusaders. So that's a lot to look forward to.
It's going to be a good one, and you can hear it right here on these airwaves.
Absolutely.
Our Blitz 5 game next week. Let's go to a game that we haven't even talked about tonight, give out a game ball, because I haven't had a chance to get to it, but Claremont Northeastern, they beat Lockland tonight, and they do so convincingly, 40-6, and it was behind the play of Brady Schmidt, the quarterback, 12 and 19, 160 through the air, 3 touchdowns passing. He also added 2 more on the ground, 5 for 50. They put up 40. He scores 5 of the touchdowns. Brady Schmidt, he's getting a game ball.
Absolutely. And I want to go back to the GMC and one of the most impressive wins of the night. We got to talk to head coach Andre Parker just a few minutes ago about running back David Hambrick, right? How impressive it was against one of the best defenses we have to offer in the city in Lakota West. 8 attempts, 113 yards, averaged 14 yards a pop, and got a touchdown. Dan, one of the most impressive stat lines considering who he was playing against on defense. David Hambrick gets a game ball from me.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a good one. I'm going to go to another game we haven't really talked a lot about here. Actually, I'm not, because I lost that stat, so I'll come back to that one in a minute. But let's go to Anderson. They get some game balls every week, it seems like, and why wouldn't they? They just score nothing but points. But this week, I'm going to give it to somebody a little different, not just a quarterback. We're going to give it to a receiver. It's Tyson Weaver, 7 catches, 75 yards, 3 touchdowns for the junior. He has scored a touchdown in each of the 4 games, 6 now on the season. Still looking for his first 100-yard game, but dude's averaging 6+ catches a game. It will come soon enough.
Absolutely big game from them. All right, Dan, I want to go back to the scoreboard, kind of reset what's going on here in the tri-state area. Some of our best top 25 teams. As we mentioned, the number 1 ranked St. Xavier Bombers, they won 28-0. Moeller, number 2 in our Blitz 5, they beat Presbyterian Academy 49-21. And the GCL South kicked off tonight with number 5 Elder taking on number 9 LaSalle. Elder beats LaSalle 16-8, doubling them up there. As you mentioned, Anderson, number 4 in our Blitz 5 top 25, they took down Lebanon tonight by a score of 36-10. Kings and West Claremont in the ECC, that was a top 25 matchup. Kings with a 31-0 shutout there. And then number 10, Whitten Woods, also in the ECC, they took down Turpin by a score of 10-3 tonight. And then how about number 11, Taft? They took down Mount Healthy tonight, 69-0, a dominating performance. And then a team that we didn't get to talk about, I want to go to Northern Kentucky. Number 12, Ryle. They come up on the short end, Dan, of the sticks tonight against Christian Academy from Louisville. It was 34-27, so Ryle does take a tough loss.
They did come back. They were trailing worse than that. And Christian Academy out of Louisville, no joke. So disappointing for Ryle at home. They get a loss there. Another tough loss for a top 25 Northern Kentucky team came as Highlands hit the road down to Boyle County. They fell just short. They were leading 20-14, but Boyle County gets a touchdown in the waning moments of the game, and they knock off the Bluebirds tonight, 21-20.
Absolutely. And then staying in Northern Kentucky, Dixie Heights, they were taking on number 13, Covcath, and Covcath dominates that game 49-7. Number 14, Cooper. Looks like they're hitting their snide, right? Looks like I got my swagger back, right, for the Cooper Jaguars. They won 35-7 tonight against Campbell County. Some other games over in Ohio, Indian Hill, right, one of the most impressive wins tonight. They took down Wyoming by a score of 28-7. And then East Central over there in Eastern Indiana, they won by a score of 35-14. Number 18, Middletown, they took down Cole Rain by a score of 31-0. And then Mason versus Oak Hills, 24-14. Mason wins that game. Any final thoughts, Dan?
No, it's been a great night of football. And we're into September now. Every week matters, man.
Absolutely. We want to thank everyone so much for joining us. We appreciate you. We'll be back again right next week. We appreciate it. Moeller versus X, lots to look forward to. So for Haley Vallantingham, Joe Waddell, I'm Safon Elvey, and Dan Klaskins. Thank you so much for joining us on the High School Football Tonight Show, powered by TriStateFootball.com on ESPN 1530 and Fox Sports 1360.
WSAI Cincinnati.
Sorry, guys. There's a auto-timed network takeover that kind of started playing there at the end. I couldn't help that, but all right, that's what I was going to ask. I'm going to come by and grab the